When Arnold Schwarzenegger speaks, people listen to him. But this time it's not about, "I'll be back," but about the future of democracy. His words are not just criticism, but a powerful blow to Trump and the Republicans, who are stuck in the past. This is not a Hollywood blockbuster, but real politics, where the former governor of California shows what the real power of words and actions is. What did Iron Arnie say? Why did his video blow up the internet? And did he really put an end to the Trump era? Sit back. It's going to be hot. Trump is a self-proclaimed leader who will go down in history as one of the most controversial presidents of all time. But the good news is that it may soon be forgotten. However, we have a much more intriguing idea. What if the roles were reversed? Donald, you're so proud of your ratings, why don't you get into television? And I'll try to run the country. Friends, what happens if you combine the Terminator, the ex-president, and the viral internet? The real political drama of the year. Arnold Schwarzenegger just launched an information bomb in the direction of Donald Trump, and the internet reacted to it with such delight, as if Free Pizza Day had been announced. But the main question is, will Trump respond to this challenge, or will he try to evade it again? How will this affect the future of the Republican Party? Let's figure it out. Remember the days when Twitter was just a place for memes with cats and complaints about bad morning coffee? Now the former president has turned it into his personal arena, where he leads endless verbal battles. And this time, he surpassed himself. Another barrage of his presidential wisdom hit the internet like a fetid odor in an elevator. Everyone held their noses, but no one could look away. It was like a car crash in slow motion, except instead of a car, his ego was on fire, and a man with an unnatural tan and a distinctive hairstyle was driving. It really bothers me. They hired the famous Arnold to replace me. We all know how it ended, Trump said indignantly. Donald is at it again. Making loud statements seems to be his favorite part of the job. The internet buzzed louder than beehives with angry bees after hearing another batch of presidential revelations. While Trump was frantically typing new tweets, the world held its breath. Who will enter the arena to answer him? And then, amid the chaos, a familiar accent sounded. "I'll be back." And suddenly, he really came back. The former governor of California himself, an action star and bodybuilder, is ready to deliver a crushing blow to Trump's ego faster than you can say, "Hasta la vista, baby." Yes, that's right. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a man who went from bodybuilding champion to governor, decided to intervene in the political debate and loudly declare himself. It's like a modern version of the David and Goliath battle. Only if David had biceps the size of bowling balls and a wealth of experience destroying enemies on the screen. But how did Arnold Schwarzenegger turn from a Hollywood hero into a political critic? What are the prospects for California? Maybe soon independent candidates will occupy the top positions, while Republicans will remain out of work. Schwarzenegger has been building up more than just muscles for a long time. He is strengthening his political weight with such persistence, as if he is preparing for the most important fight of his life. Who would have thought that the man who once said, "I'll be back," would actually return, only now to confront the political chaos. His political transformation has lasted longer than the deep-fried steak on Trump's menu. He started out as a bodybuilder, then became a Hollywood star, and then tried himself as a governor. He changed the fight against criminals on the screen to the fight against bureaucracy in California. And unlike some politicians, at least we know what he was fighting for. But the most interesting thing is that Arnold is not just a man with an outstanding physique and a funny accent. He has a depth comparable to a layered onion, or, if you prefer, with spots from Trump's tanning. As governor of California, he dealt with important issues: climate change, healthcare reforms, and the development of green energy. The very questions that seemed to make Trump nervously wipe the sweat from his forehead. And now the main question arises: how did the man who played the cyborg killer turn out to be the one who best formulates sound thoughts in a world full of political absurdity? Schwarzenegger was closely watching how the Republican Party was changing, and he clearly didn't like it. He even said that Republicans have problems with ratings. Translating from the language of Hollywood, their popularity is now about the same as going to the dentist. Schwarzenegger also noted that the Democrats are winning not because they are stronger, but because the Republicans simply cannot offer anything new. Trump tried his best to challenge the election results by resorting to questionable methods, but the most interesting thing in this story is that Schwarzenegger is not just criticizing what is happening from the outside. He is actively involved in the process. As a man who went from immigrant to governor, he looks at American politics from a special angle. He advocates a more open and unifying political system that echoes the ideals of Ronald Reagan and his big tent concept. Remember the days when the Republican Party wasn't Trump's personal fan club? Arnold remembers. Admitting that your team is playing by outdated rules takes a lot of courage. But why did Schwarzenegger decide to speak out against Trump right now? It seems that our action hero has a weakness for democracy, in the broadest sense of the word. He emphasizes the importance of discussing topics that concern all Americans: equality, honesty, and fair elections. This is not a political fantasy, but a call for a culture that unites people rather than inciting hostility. We can say that he is trying to become the superhero that America is currently missing. Captain Democracy? Maybe. But do not think that he has become softer. The Terminator still lives in him. It's just that now he's not fighting screen enemies, but dangerous ideas. In the Trump era, such ideas seem to abound. And what Schwarzenegger said is not just criticism, but a real blow to the positions of the former president. Moreover, the blow is more powerful than the storm that hit Donald's famous hairstyle. Arnold didn't just demonstrate strength. He used his head, drawing parallels between Trump's actions and historical events that left a muddy trail. He remembered Kristallnacht, one of the darkest events in German history. "I've seen with my own eyes how easily things can get out of control," he warned, hinting that the fear and hostility engulfing society could lead to extremely dangerous consequences. But Schwarzenegger's video is not all gloom and hopelessness. He diluted it with his trademark humor. For example, he suggested that Trump switch places. "Why don't we turn the tables? You're going to do television because you're so proud of your ratings, and I'm going to try to do your job. Oh, how it hurts. It's probably even tougher than a Terminator punch to the jaw." But what really makes this video so powerful? Not his celebrity status. The fact is that Schwarzenegger speaks not just as a critic, but as someone who knows what he's talking about. He grew up in Austria, a country that experienced the rise of dictatorship, and saw what happens when democracy collapses under the onslaught of authoritarianism. He made it clear, "I've seen this movie before, and believe me, you don't need a sequel." But the most explosive moment of his address was a single phrase, after which the internet seemed to freeze. The good news is that soon it will become as irrelevant as the old tweet. Boom! This is not just a spectacular end to a speech, but a real political knockout. You can say, "So what? Trump has plenty of such critics." It's true. But the difference is that Arnold is not just another columnist. This is the Terminator. And when he talks, people listen. This is the difference between a firecracker and a nuclear warhead. One just makes a noise, the other leaves a crater. And Schwarzenegger's style makes his message even more powerful. He speaks clearly, confidently, without unnecessary words. His speech is like a perfectly chiseled press, concise and precise. Unlike Trump's tweets, which sometimes resemble the incoherent mumblings of a man stuck in a protracted political tantrum. How did people react? To say that the video has gone viral is an understatement. It was a real viral effect, but with one difference. If viruses usually cause problems, then this video has become a kind of vaccine against political chaos. It turned out to be a real political action, in which Schwarzenegger acted not just as a critic, but as a symbol of a new wave of awakening. Imagine the Statue of Liberty, but with Arnold's face and his trademark grin. Now she is not just a symbol of freedom, but of the iron fist of democracy. But let's leave the internet jokes and look at the reactions of those who wear suits even at homework. This is where the fun begins. Politicians and celebrities reacted no better than Trump did to a positive COVID test in 2020. Hollywood secretly threw a party under the slogan, "I'm with Schwarzenegger." And in Washington, this video caused a bombshell effect. It wasn't just a viral video, it became a symbol of political awakening. Arnold literally gave people permission to say, "You know what? Maybe the guy who played the cyborg killer from the future is right about democracy after all. The scene is now changing at such a speed, as if he is standing on a treadmill set to maximum. Since 2016, Twitter has become something of a new Congress, with celebrities becoming regular participants in America's most chaotic reality show. Forget about CNN, we have a new leader in ratings. We used to think that Arnold was just flexing his muscles, but it turned out that all this time he was flexing his political acumen. But he is not the only celebrity who has decided to plunge into the world of politics. Now it seems that everyone who has a blue check mark on Twitter considers themselves the next John F. Kennedy. On the one hand, celebrities can bring up important topics faster than any journalist. They are live clickbaits for social movements. But on the other hand, most of them don't understand politics any better than a freshman at a debate. Experts argue, are celebrities in politics a blessing or a curse? Yes, they can draw attention to important issues, but they can also reduce complex issues to simple slogans and memes. It's like trying to explain quantum physics with emojis. Inevitably something gets lost. But Schwarzenegger is not just a celebrity. Unlike those who think that one tweet with a hashtag makes them the new Gandhi, Arnold has real political experience. He doesn't just post on social media, he understands what he's talking about. It's like comparing a UFC champion to a guy who once won an arm wrestling match in a bar. One thing is clear, politics will never be the same again. Schwarzenegger made it clear that it's not just likes and reposts that are important, but real actions. He said, democracy is not just about watching the news, it's about being part of the process. Let's sum up some small results on the material fronts. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't just record a video, he launched a challenge that changed the political landscape. He didn't just mock Trump, he touched on fundamental issues, the role of leaders, the future of the Republican Party, the very essence of democracy. His message spread across the internet, sparking a flurry of discussions and leaving an indelible mark on the public consciousness. And for some reason, it seems to me that this is just the beginning. Friends, now I would like to express my opinion. I have always respected Arnold Schwarzenegger, a man with an incredible story who made his way from the very bottom to world fame and then into politics. His words sound powerful, he knows how to get attention, and he says the right things. But let's not forget that politics is a slippery business. How many times have we heard loud statements and beautiful promises, especially before the elections, and how many of them turned out to be just water, spilled like spring rain, quickly absorbed, leaving behind only a wet trail of disappointment? Nevertheless, it is really interesting to observe this situation. Schwarzenegger challenged Trump, and people's reactions show how hungry society is for change. But will it lead to something real? Or is it just another outburst of emotions that will soon be forgotten? Time will show. In the meantime, let's follow the developments together and see how this political drama unfolds further. Let's discuss this statement by Arnold in the comments. If you like this review, please support us with a like and subscribe so that you don't miss new releases. See you.